Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are going to peel back the curtain on the supposed magic of artificial intelligence, and we're going to explore the very real human workforce that's actually powering the whole thing. We constantly hear this dominant narrative, right? The one presenting AI as this completely autonomous marvel, a product of high-end engineering born strictly on glitzy Silicon Valley campuses. But the reality is far more complex. It's much more human and, honestly, incredibly fragmented. Let's kick things off with a story that kind of flips the script on what we think we know. Think back to 2016, when Amazon launched its Just Walkout prototype. This was touted to the world as game-changing automation, an AI technology so insanely advanced it could just instantly recognize the things you picked up off the grocery shelves. But the truth that came out later, well, it wasn't quite so glamorous. It turned out the system actually relied heavily on a massive team of over 1,000 overseas workers, mostly based in India, who were essentially acting as the eyes of the machine. The AI wasn't just training itself, it was leaning on an invisible human crutch. Section 1. The illusion of automation, unveiling the magic. Because, instead of computers just magically teaching themselves in a vacuum, the reality is that hundreds of thousands of workers are the real fuel for this technology. These individuals, often located in countries far away from those major tech hubs, are sifting through massive amounts of data, sometimes highly harmful or toxic data actually, just to make these tools function properly. The machine learning models powering your virtual assistants, your translators, your recommendation algorithms, they simply do not train themselves. Moving to Section 2, AI's invisible human workforce, the day-to-day reality. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, real people are sitting there manually determining the tone of a sentence, correcting subtitles, drawing little boxes around objects and images, and vitally categorizing data to filter out harmful material to keep these AI systems clean and safe for all of us end users. It requires constant, repetitive, and often pretty grueling human intervention. And we've got to ask, where is this essential work even happening? It's heavily outsourced through remote platforms right to the global south. Get this. Over 60% of these micro-workers are in low and middle-income countries. 90% of remote tasks users are from outside the US. We're talking huge concentrations in places like Latin America, Southeast Asia, India, and Kenya. These folks are putting in full-time hours, often 30 to 50 hours per week around the clock. But because they're paid by the task, sometimes just literally pennies per task, their annual salaries rarely break a few $1,000s. Which brings us to Section 3, billions versus pennies, the stark economic contrast. This is where the moral and economic gap between the companies developing the AI and the workers actually training it really hits you. On one side, you have the traditional US tech worker pulling in an average salary of well over $100,000 a year. But on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you have the outsourced workforce doing the heavy lifting for AI development. Data labeling specialists in India earn around $8,000 a year. In Manila, it's roughly $7 an hour. They're subcontractors making an absolute fraction of Silicon Valley wages. $1.32 to $2. Think about that for a second. This represents the hourly wage paid to Kenyan workers hired by the company Sama on behalf of OpenAI to label toxic content. Depending on their performance and seniority, these workers took on the incredibly difficult psychological toll of sorting the internet's most harmful data for mere pennies an hour. Now, contrast those pennies with this, $200 billion. The global AI market actually surpassed that astronomical figure in 2024. But that massive wealth is absolutely not distributed equitably. It's heavily concentrated in fewer than 10 US companies. OpenAI itself is valued at over $80 billion. The moral gap here is just striking. Executives pull in multi-million-dollar bonuses, while the invisible global workforce sustaining their entire product makes a few $100s a month. Picture the total budget to train a cutting-edge model. When major tech giants drop upwards of $100 million on a single AI model, less than 1% of that budget actually goes to the data workers. 1%? Over 99% goes to other technical, computing, and corporate costs. The very people making the artificial intelligence possible are getting a microscopic piece of the pie. Let's pivot a bit to Section 4, stagnation in US tech jobs, the domestic impact. As these international corporations rake in profits by aggressively cutting costs through global outsourcing, we really need to look at the deep consequences this model has right back home. You'd naturally think an AI boom would spark a massive domestic tech job boom, right? Actually, no. Between 2018 and 2023, while the global AI sector exploded with 40% growth, U.S. information technology jobs grew by just 5%. Despite generating billions, these corporate gains just haven't translated into significant domestic job creation. The U.S. market is essentially unable to absorb the jobs generated by its own booming industry. By labeling these crucial human interventions as mere auxiliary tasks and subcontracting them out for practically nothing, the industry actively devalues the work. And this cost-cutting at all costs model, it creates incredible downward pressure on annual salaries within the U.S. tech sector itself. It leaves U.S. workers facing job precarity, it displaces traditional employment, and it limits the development of a strong domestic tech value chain. We're creating an external dependency instead of fostering local innovation. All right, Section 5, Policies for Inclusive Innovation, Charting a New Course. So, how do we actually fix this wildly fragmented and unequal dynamic? Well, investigations, like the explosive 2023 Time magazine piece, really pull back the curtain. They highlight the urgent, pressing need for international regulation. Right now, the total opacity of these contracts means these workers operate completely in the shadows. They face constant surveillance, a massive overload of repetitive tasks, irregular pay, sometimes literally not knowing if they'll even get paid, and a complete lack of basic labor protections. To solve this, the sources point to a few necessary shifts. First, we have to reconsider how human labor is valued in AI development by implementing policies that finally recognize and structure the participation of these data workers. Second, and absolutely crucial for our domestic market, there must be a clear strategy to reintegrate these tech jobs back into the U.S. Relying purely on an invisible, exploited workforce is a total paradox of progress. The smarter our machines get, the more precarious the conditions of the humans training them become. We desperately need structured labor practices that support domestic job growth while treating global workers fairly. I want to leave you with this to chew on. The next time you use a virtual assistant, a translator, or some seemingly magical automated tool, remember the unseen hands that labeled its data. If human labor is what truly makes AI possible, what is the actual cost, morally and economically, of our artificial intelligence? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I'll catch you next time.